there, people with Internet, and hello again, I'm TheMBmulti. Oops, and welcome back to Doki Doki Purist Mod. In the previous episodes, I dropkicked a bully in the face, sort of. Well, I punched somebody that spread rumors, or MC, you know. Punched somebody that spread rumors about Yuri. And of course, I was suspended, or MC was suspended. And Yuri hasn't shown up since that day. And we were prompted to either pursue or wait for Yuri to come back of her own volition. Last time I had a mod present a question like that, I chose pursue, because even though everybody else said to wait. So I did the same thing here, but then, you know, there was no music and it was all very bleak. So it's like, oh, I guess I was wrong then. So we are waiting now. So it's the next day, all the members of the literature club are present, sans Yuri. A palpable heaviness hangs in the air. No one is in much of a mood to talk. I have still heard nothing from Yuri. From the looks of the others, none of them have either. Monika tries to dispel the crushing silence. She tries to put her trademark smile and harmonious tone. So, does anyone have any poems to share today? Sayori shakes her head. Natsuki just stares at the desk with a scowl. Monika looks at me, but I certainly don't have anything to offer either. I can muster no effort to conceal the brooding worry on my face. The wind leaves Monika's sails. I see. The subsequent pause is short but heavy. In that case, I suppose we should adjourn early today. Any objections? Still, no one can find any words. I guess that's all then. I hope everyone has a wonderful afternoon. If anyone needs anything, you're always welcome to talk to me. With one last attempt at a comforting smile, Monika takes her leave. Sayori soon follows suit, unable to hide a worried glance towards me as she leaves. If anything, I appreciate how Monika tried her best to continue the club despite the atmosphere, but that can only do so much. Natsuki pulls me aside before I could leave as well. Well? Still nothing. Natsuki sighs. Okay, if anything, I'm glad that you didn't go after her. I think you made the right choice. A growing doubt bars my response. Natsuki notices the hang-up. Hey, I know it's hard, but you've got to have some faith, alright? She's come back on her own before. It sucks sometimes, but all we can do is wait. We've offered her all we can, and now we have to respect how she handles things. Capiche? But what if... But what? What if something happens to her? What if... Natsuki cuts me off with a pointed glare. Mark, do you love Yuri or not? The question caught me off guard. Love? I certainly liked her, and I enjoyed the time we spent together, all the moments we've shared between us. I just want her to be happy, and I want to do all I can to help that happen. I do love her. Natsuki breaks into a smile and teasingly swings at my shoulder. There you go, that wasn't so hard, was it? Now, you can trust her with this, right? She's strong. Yeah, I should. You're right. Thank you, Natsuki. She's a friend of the whole club. We all care about her. Just hang in there and let us know when she comes back, alright? I nod, feeling some of the weight of my worries fade away. Sure thing. Before I can start to head out, Natsuki stops me one last time. If you make her cry like this again, I won't let you forget it, alright? Was that a threat? Serious? Ah, just kidding. I've got to head home now, see ya. She smiles and waves at me as she exits the classroom, leaving me alone in the club room. Natsuki said she was kidding, but I certainly don't want to test if she is or not. My mind drifts to Yuri once again. Also, it's not even my fault, necessarily. It's not like I deliberately did something that upset Yuri. I mean, MC may have made some wrong choices in not telling Yuri and snatching her phone, deleting the email and stuff. So now this beating up of the bully may have come out of the blue somehow. Like completely out of the blue from Yuri's point of view. And then, you know, maybe late she figured out why it happened exactly. Like, oh, what do you mean I didn't get any email? And then, you know, I did send it to you. And then she put two and two together. Oh, it must have been deleted when MC snatched my phone earlier. Or the other day. So, I guess she pieced it together in that sense. And then she was upset by his choices. But it's not like MC deliberately did something horrible to Yuri. He did what he thought was right to help her or whatever, you know? It's kind of the thing that usually people also bring up with parents, or when they have a bad relationship with their parents or whatever. I mean, not all the time. Some people are just some people have kids that shouldn't have kids or something, and there's no excuse to be made. But a lot of the time, I feel like when people argue about, oh, my parents did all this and it's so horrible, not necessarily that you must have a hate relationship with your parents to think this thought, but even people that have a phenomenal relationship with their parents may still have various moments where they're like, oh, I don't agree with what they did here or whatever. And it may seem malicious in some regard, especially to a child, but 9 out of 10 times I feel like the reason why they do that is because they're trying their best. A lot of the times it's when people say I mean, I'm not a parent myself, so I wouldn't know, but I can understand with, yeah, maybe it wasn't the right thing to do, but they believed it was. You know, it's always easier in hindsight to say, oh, you should have done this or that. That, yeah, duh. But in hindsight, you know the consequences of if plan A didn't work, plan B wouldn't have worked either, so maybe you should have tried plan C. But yeah, you didn't know the outcome, and plan A was your starting point, so to speak, you know? So that's why the parent chose that plan, because they thought that was the correct thing to do. And then if it had a bad outcome, then yeah, that wasn't the intent. The intention was never the bad outcome. That's just something that happens because apparently that wasn't the right thing to do. Because, you know, again, in hindsight, it's very easy to say, oh, you should have done it differently. But again, this is not, I'm not saying that everyone is like that, because there's always, you know, there's always exceptions. There's always the people that have a horrible relationship with their parents, and it's like, well, they were just completely nuts. They were just, you know, abusing me and doing horrible things. And there's not necessarily, and I don't feel like there was any good intention from their part why they did that. But so, you know, there's always the exception. But I feel like most of the time they try to do it not necessarily because I mean, there's always people that do it because it was done to them or whatever. Sort of the vicious cycle or whatever. Well, my parents did it to me, and I turned out all right, so I have to. So this is how it's done, or whatever, you know. Or maybe not even thinking about it in that regard. That's just automatically the default setting, so to speak, you know. Like, oh well, not necessarily because they literally stop and think, oh, my parents did it to me in this way, so I have to do it in this way as well. Not literally thinking that, but just the impulse thing or whatever, you know, like when you fall over and then you very quickly step forward, usually with your dominant foot, because you know, so if you're right-handed, you'll step forward with your right foot to catch yourself. That's not necessarily because, oh, I am right-handed, so I should have so my right foot should or my right leg should catch me before I fall. No, that's just your body just instantly doing something like, oh crap, I'm falling, oh, I have to step forward, and we're going to be using the right leg because we're right-handed, or left if you're left-handed. So, and that's not necessarily your brain, okay, well, we are right-handed, so we should, no, of course, you're falling over, so your brain's like, oh fuck, we need to prevent that, hey, we're doing that, and this is the best way to do it, so we're doing it. That is how I feel like some people would sort of slip into the role of how their parents taught them, raised them, so they're doing it back now as well. Not necessarily because they literally stop and think, oh, my mom did it this way, or my dad did it that way, so I have to do it that way as well. No, they just see the situation happens and then they just react, and then that may be because they saw their parents do it, so they do it as well. Oh, well, that is how it is done. Not necessarily stopping and thinking about it, but just going, oh, that is how it's done. So that's the bodily reaction to it. That's the brain making the decision. Oh, this is happening. I already know the solution because I've seen it back in the day, stored all the way back there, so we're executing that, you know? So Even with that, I feel like, yeah, that could be a, not necessarily, oh, I have to do it because my parents did it. It's just the reaction. But what I'm trying to say is 9 out of 10 times, well, maybe not 9 out of 10 times, but, you know, a lot of the time, I feel like the reason why the parent does anything is because they feel that is the correct thing to do, because they want, ultimately they love you as, or the child, keeping it very general, but they love the child and they want to raise the child properly to make that child ready for the real world, and, you know, give them some of their values, or the values that they believe are important and stuff like that. Again, I'm not talking about people that hate their children, because they exist, and of course they do and if they do horrible things, then that's not because they want the child to succeed, because they hate their child, because those people exist. I mean, there's even movies about that where they believe their children ruin their lives for just existing and stuff like that. So there's enough examples in that regard, but that's not what I'm trying to say. Like, if you're normal normal parents love their children, or have an instinct to raise them and to prepare them for the real world, so to speak. Even in the animal kingdom or whatever, you know, it's just instinct. This is what we have to do. We have to raise the child in order to do it. So I've so they feel, oh well, this is how it needs to be done. This is how I can teach this my child the values that I want them to learn and to adhere to, because I think those are the correct set of values that I believe they should have when they are older eventually and go out into the real world and stuff like that. And then, you know, like, again, in hindsight, you can say, oh, you should have done it differently because this or that was the outcome. But yeah, that's in hindsight. Hindsight is always easier to say, oh, this is how it should have been done, because that's 10 million times easier. But what I'm trying to say is it's not necessarily done with malicious intent, because I feel like 9 out of 10 times it's not done. It's done with the exact opposite of malicious intent. It's done with the intent of, I feel this is the best thing, the right thing to do. And then, you know, later on you can have a discussion on, well, was that really, did it achieve the desired outcome? Maybe not. Well, you should have done it differently then. But yeah, again, that's super easy to say in hindsight. But what I'm trying to get at with all of this is that if Yuri is really stuck in that hurt phase, or whatever you want to call it, I feel like a bit of a reflecting on, well, it wasn't malicious, would help Yuri overcome that feeling of anger or whatever, you know? I mean, again, I don't know if that is what she's angry about, because of course we haven't seen her, so I have no idea what she's upset about. If she's upset about the rumors, if she's upset about MC deleting the email from her phone, and stuff, or MC beating up the bully, or just the rumor in general, because we don't even oh well, you do know what the rumor is, because it was like the guy making assumptions that she was into knife play, or like to hurt herself for sexual pleasure or something, and then that she and the MC would be doing that together. But we don't necessarily know exactly what she's upset about. We just know that she's upset and she hasn't shown up for a couple of days. But we don't necessarily know it is exactly because of, MC it's because MC beat up the bully or something or whatever. So we don't exactly know what she's upset about. But if she's upset about MC doing something, and then Natsuki is like, oh, if you make her cry again, like, that wasn't the intention. Was it the correct choice? Maybe, maybe not. But, you know, MC did that because he felt like that was the correct thing to do. I mean, I made the comparison with parents. That's why I went on that entire rant about that. This is, of course, a different relationship. It's a romantic relationship. It's a partnership, or whatever you want to call it. It's a different love. You know, you don't... Typically, you don't fuck your children. So, you know, so there's difference there in the relationship aspect. It's not that MC sees Yuri as his daughter, or whatever. But it's the same aspect in that in both scenarios they want the other person to succeed, and they want to, here MC even said that a couple of lines ago, where he's like, I want Yuri to be happy. And he just did what he thought was the right thing to do, because he wants to be the best person for Yuri. He wants her to succeed, he wants her to be happy, he wants her to have a comfortable life at school and outside of school. And in order to achieve that, and because he cares so ridiculously much about her, he does that. And because he thinks that is the way to achieve that. And that's not because he doesn't like her, or he agrees with the rumors, or because he disagrees with the rumors but thinks that Yuri is weird still, or whatever. Like, no, there was nothing malicious about that. Was the outcome not the desired outcome? Perhaps. And then Yuri is upset about that, so I can understand that, but that wasn't the intention. So for Natsuki to go like, oh, I'll kill you, like, I feel like that's a bit of a hollow threat. Maybe it most likely was a hollow threat in that Natsuki was a bit jokey about it. But she's like, that's just her showing, in my mind, that's just her showing, I care about Yuri, so be careful with her, don't break her heart. So I get that, but this feels like a very wrong place to put that line, because it's not like MC did anything to upset Yuri. Like, if Yuri's upset by something MC has done, it's a bit different here, because he was trying to protect her from the bullies, or to continue their life or their relationship as normal as possible, and he thought that this was the right thing to do. Maybe it was the wrong thing to do, and Yuri is upset about that, but that wasn't done with malicious intent. If it was different, if it was MC who did something to Yuri directly or specifically, you know? If he, for example, if he's a bit of a prankster or whatever, and then that's his love language, to tease a lot, to rage bait her a little bit, because that's just his love language or whatever, you know, just interaction, messing around. He doesn't mean it, but he just likes to goof around, and that's just his personality. And then he does it with Yuri, but he accidentally, without him knowing, touches on a very painful point that Yuri has about her self-worth or her self-love. Maybe something to do with her skin, because Yuri is very scared that somebody figures out that she has the scars on her arms and stuff. So maybe and then that's why she always wears long sleeves and stuff like that. And then MC accidentally makes a joke about Yuri being pale or something. Like, for example, like if it's summer and then Yuri never goes out, and then when she does, she always wears long sleeves because she doesn't want anybody to see her scars. But of course, they don't know that. They just like, oh, why are you wearing? It's hot. Why are you wearing these clothes? Like no wonder you don't like the summer, because that's something that Yuri would most likely say. I hate summer, and it's like, yeah, no wonder you hate summer, because you dress for winter while it's summer. So of course it's not fun. And then MC and Yuri are in a relationship, and then MC, his love language is just sort of rage baiting and joking, stuff like that, and then he makes a comment about Yuri being very pale or whatever, like her being a vampire, or making a joke about that and carrying the joke on for a little bit too long, but the others are laughing, so that's why he keeps feeding into it, because he's just a bit of a joker personality. That's just what he loves to do, just messing around. And then he wouldn't be upset if it happened to him either or whatever. He kind of invites that clapback, so to speak. So that's when he likes it when Natsuki does it or whatever, you know? That's just not necessarily because he loves rage baiting people and he loves telling horrible lies and things about people. No, that's just his personality. He loves the joke. He loves it when people do it to him. He loves a good roast, stuff like that. But then, because of course he doesn't know Yuri cuts herself, he accidentally touches on something that Yuri is extremely what's the word I'm looking for? Extremely self-conscious about. Very insecure about, that's the word I was looking for. Very insecure about. And then of course that hurts Yuri, because Yuri thinks, oh, he's making fun of my deepest fears or whatever, my deepest insecurities. But he doesn't know, because he doesn't know that he is actually hurting her right now. He thinks he's doing a great job and making everybody laugh. And maybe Yuri chuckles along not because she finds it funny, but because everybody else is laughing, so she's like, oh, well, this is apparently funny, I have to laugh as well, because otherwise my friends are going to think I'm weird for not laughing. You know, because Yuri is very a lonely person. She has a lot of trouble with making friends with people. So when she has these friends, the literature club, she is so desperately scared to lose them in any way, shape, or form that when she perceives MC as attacking her and everybody laughing along, she's like, oh, I'm being bullied right now. Maybe she doesn't consciously think about that, but she just like, oh, I'm being bullied right now, and the others are laughing. But other than this incident, these are the best friends I've ever, the only friends I have, and the best friends I've ever had at that. So I'll just laugh along instead of say, because otherwise I'm going to lose them, and I don't want to lose them because then I have 0 friends. So Yuri just takes that for granted, but then later on starts to isolate herself a bit more. And then the others are like, oh, why does Yuri keep isolating herself? It's a bit weird. Because, you know, Yuri doesn't dare to stand up for herself or whatever, you know? Because she doesn't realize that they actually do genuinely care about her. And if she had just come forward to MC, maybe not in the moment, maybe that's a bit too scary. Maybe just after the moment, take MC apart. Take him apart, atom by atom. No, that's not what I meant. I mean, take it like, hey, I want to speak to you like privately for a second. And then MC's like, yeah, what's up? And then Yuri goes, hey, please don't make fun of me about that because I really don't like that and I'm very insecure. And then I'm 100% sure that MC will, or I, in that maybe not MC, but me in that situation, like, oh my god, Yuri, I'm so sorry. I never knew, that was never my intention. I'm so sorry. But, you know, Yuri might not be a bit scared to do that with her friends, even though she could and her friends would totally respect her for that. So like, oh, well, sorry, Yuri, we genuinely apologize. That was not our intention whatsoever. So sorry. So yeah, if it was something like that, and then there was, you know, they overcame that hurdle, and then afterwards this happened, and then Natsuki was like, hey, if you make her cry, I'll fucking kill you. Then it makes sense, because then it's like, oh, MC acknowledged, oh, I did that. That was stupid of me. I shouldn't have done that. I mean, that's just one example. And maybe not even the best example because MC is unaware of it. That Natsuki line is hits a bit harder if he did it a bit more maliciously. Not that he genuinely bullies her, but if he had a bit more malicious intent in his bullying or in his joking and his rage bait thing, if we go with that trope. But still, that line would feel a bit more, way more, I should say, in place in a situation like that. Not like this, because MC didn't necessarily do anything, and we don't even know if MC's actions is what Yuri's upset about, you know? She could just be upset about the rumors that spread, regardless of what MC did about it, you know? So Natsuki saying, oh, well, I'll fucking kill you if you make her cry again. It's like, yeah, but the line works, but not necessarily, you know? I don't know. Well, yeah, what do you guys think? Maybe I'm getting a bit too deep into this, but yeah. But, you know, like, I can understand if Yuri is upset about MC's action. I can understand why she's upset, but I would like, you know, we keep our distance, not to sort of baby her. It's like, oh, you have to, you know, actually, when you think about it, it's not that bad. Like, I understand that we should give her some space for that then, but I would love that Yuri would then also reflect on it in that way, what I said with the parents' analysis, you know? Where she's like, oh, well, it may have not had the desired outcome, but MC did that because he had the best intentions and not because he was trying to be malicious. So, I feel like that is an interesting angle for Yuri to take. If this is what she's upset about. What she's upset with, you know? Anyway, my mind drifts to Yuri once again. Some concern still lingers, but Natsuki has known Yuri longer than I have. I resolve myself to trust Yuri and pray that the wait isn't too much longer. As I take my leave of the classroom, I find Sayori by the exit of the school, evidently waiting for me. She gives me a cheerful smile as I approach. You didn't have to. Come on, we've always walked together. Why should today be any different? I chuckle and give her a smile of my own. You're right. Thank you, Sayori, really. Sayori beams her thousand watt grin as we start to head home. A cool afternoon breeze brings refreshment to me and Sayori as we amble down the familiar street. She hasn't said anything since we departed school, nor have I, but I get the sense that if I asked, she'd be happy to talk. I make a mental note to think of a way to properly thank her at some point. The whole club, really. At this point, with all that's happened, I don't know where I would be without them. We arrive home before too long. I face Sayori in front of our houses. Sayori, thank you for everything. Even though I blew my fuse and caused all this stress, Sayori maintains her ever-present smile. Don't be too down on yourself, Mark. We all have our low points, but we don't let them define us, right? But you're still my best friend, Mark. This won't change that. I know you're still you. Take it from me. I know it can be hard to pick yourself up at times. Don't think you have to deal with it all yourself. Your friends are there for you. Sayori, was she always like this? Or have I just been blind to her unwavering support? After all that she's confided in me. Geez, I'm dense sometimes, aren't I? I don't think I can ever thank you enough, Sayori. The whole club, honestly. Sayori giggles. That's what friends are for, isn't it? I'll be next door if you need someone to talk to. I'll be sure to let you know if I do. We embrace and head our separate ways into our houses. I'm home earlier than normal, but it still feels like it was a long day. I collapse onto the couch and do little more than aimlessly lie down for an indeterminate amount of time. My thoughts drift once more over the whirlwind of the past several days. Was it really only that long since this all started? Yeah, I guess it was. It's Friday, right? Now I have the whole weekend to ponder. While in my slump, I replay all the advice and encouragement I've been given. The plan is still waiting. Right, I can do that. Have faith in Yuri. Here at home, I'm left alone to stew in my own thoughts. All the assurances from today only did so much to stave off my growing worry. A day with no response, sure, but more than that. Is everything really okay? Is there something more I should be doing? Yuri. I said I loved her today. I really do, right? Damn it. I shouldn't have to prove this to myself. What am I thinking? I envisioned flashbacks of all the time spent together as if on cue. Sharing our poems, the festival preparation and the festival itself, the bookshop and then the breakup. What do you mean the breakup? Damn it, we went our separate ways, but we do that all the time after we leave school. It's not a breakup, per se. It's a bit weird to describe it as that. If only I could get back in time and fix things. If I had just talked to Yuri more about how she felt about everything. If I had controlled my temper better. I shake my head in frustration at myself. No, stop dwelling on what I could have done better. Just focus on what to do now. I attempt to change my train of thought. Whenever I was with Yuri, I felt at ease, seeing the way she carries herself. Maybe she doesn't see it, but I do. The way she blossoms whenever she talks about her passions. The way that, no matter what, she stayed honest to herself. I imagine she could have given up on her interest, collecting knives. That's something I'm sure not many girls do. But she didn't give in. She remained steadfast and even shared it with me. If I were in her position, I don't know if I could have done the same. Yuri is unwavering in her loves and hobbies. Despite the ridicule and rumors, could I do something like that? Could I have that kind of strength? Maybe. Maybe someday. More and more I come to realize that I miss how things were. Reading together, working together, even overcoming our boundaries together with the hiccups that accompanied. Yuri was willing to separate from me because she wanted to preserve my reputation. Oh yeah, well she did say that, yeah. It hurts, obviously, but she put my well-being before herself. In its own way, it was selfless. It was short-sighted, but I now realize the scope of the intent. If we get back together, I should tell her how much she means to me in all this, properly. I'll set things right, I need to. Just whenever we can talk next. My new resolve makes it even harder to just lounge around on the couch, but what else can I do right now? Why would she be silent for so long anyways? I know Natsuki said that Yuri can take care of herself, but for days? What is she even doing by herself? Reading would be my first guess. I feel my pulse quicken in realization. Knives. She has a knife collection. Oh god, how could I be so stupid? My phone buzzes. A text? Who could? My heart skips a beat. It's Yuri. No, it's my phone. May I come over? At first, I'm not even sure I'm seeing this correctly. Is it really? I shake myself of any drowsiness just to make sure. It really is a text from Yuri asking if she can visit. My fingers start shaking as I try and type out an answer. How do I even respond to this? I mean, of course I want to see her again, but just like this after days of... No, stop overthinking it. Just... yes. There. Said long before a reply. Thank you, I'll be there soon. Soon, huh? It feels unreal. Did the past few days even happen? My shoulders slump as I realize how tense I had been. I can't help but laugh a little. Getting this worked up over a girl coming over? It's not even the first time. So I just have to wait a bit longer, don't I? Before too long the doorbell rings. Before I can get to the door I pinch myself just in case. No, I'm not dreaming. I pull open the door. Standing before me is Yuri. It's really her, unharmed. Oh hey, we fall into a mutual embrace, seconds feeling like hours. We reluctantly separate, knowing someone has to speak first. My mind is racing a mile a minute, trying to find some cohesive words. After the longest 2 days of my life, there is so much I want to say. We both stop and find ourselves smiling after trying to start off at the same time. After a pause, I nod to Yuri as a gesture for her to speak first. Thank you. Thank you for having me over and after everything I've put you through. No, don't worry about it, it's fine. You're okay, right? Yuri gives a quick reassuring nod. Yes, I am. I'm sorry for it taking so long to get back to you. Again, it's fine. I'm just glad to see you again. Yuri blushes and fidgets with her hair. I'm glad. Would you like to go out together tomorrow? Stop stammering, damn it. Yes, of course. Where? Yuri tags at her sleeve. It might be kind of weird to you. I'm sure it's a great place. The graveyard in the park. This time tomorrow. Is that alright with you? The graveyard, huh? That sounds great! Woo! I can't think of a more fitting place. Yuri beams. Easily the most welcome sight I've seen as of late. Thank you. I promise I'll tell you everything, alright? I nod in agreement. It seems we both have a great deal we want to share. See you tomorrow. With one last embrace, Yuri turns to leave. She leaves me with one last assurance. I'm doing better now, Mark. Thank you for all your patience. It's the least I owe you, Yuri. You're the one who deserves thanks for putting up with me. Yuri leaves me with her enchanting smile as she departs. I can feel a burden lifting from my shoulders. I guess I'll get my chance after all. No matter how tomorrow goes, as long as I can tell her what she's done for me. I think things will turn out alright.